we are just going to start by saying we are sorry for this part of this party, because we have to explain to you what essential oils are and how they work.
It's boring.
And it's boring. And we've thought about this and we've tried to work on it. There's no way around this. So stick with us, work with us. We're going to read this and try to look at the camera, okay? Blonde's multi-talent doesn't always work. So, what are essential oils? They are subtle, I can't talk either. Aromatic and volatile liquids no, they are not distracted, they are extracted.
So I actually wrote distracted. I typed out distracted. Don't just read what I typed.
Extracted from plants through distillation. They are the oldest form of medicine and cosmetic known to man and used to be considered more valuable than gold. You're that chick.
Okay, so essential oils are very complex. They're not just putting a couple oils on when something's wrong. They all do have sometimes up to hundreds of different chemical constituents, compounds, whatever. They're highly concentrated and they are far more potent than a lot of people think they are. So one drop really does go a long way. So you do have to think about that. They're 1,000 times more. Yeah, we put peppermint in the diffuser so we don't fall asleep here. We have a lot of work to do. Okay, sorry, focus. So they are a lot more potent than herbs because of the way that they are distilled. They're very concentrated. So one drop will go a long way. You don't have to put a whole bottle on. That's why these little bottles here, they have anywhere from 80 to 100 drops of oil in them, and the big bottles have 250 drops of oil. So even though you may think that they seem kind of expensive, they'll last you a really, really long time. Anyways, it requires a large volume of plant material to distill down into one of the little bottles, or either of the bottles. A good example is 5,000 pounds of rose petals is what it takes to make 1 kilo of rose oil. So a whole warehouse full of rose petals gives you a kilo of rose oil. That's why rose is going to be a little bit more of an expensive oil.
How much is a kilo, Angie?
I have no clue.
22.
I know. So, some plants yield more oils than others.
Okay. This is why some oils are more expensive than other oils, because of the plants and how much it takes. More people are turning to essential oils now, looking for more natural, healthy alternatives to take care of themselves, their family, and trying to steer clear of some of the prescription medications and all of the nasty side effects that come along with those. So,
you do need to be cautious. There are certain different safety things which we'll go into when we do the safety slide about essential oils. Because, like I said, they do have chemical compounds in them. You can't just do whatever you want with them. There are some precautions that you need to take. Going back to what are essential oils, they are the lifeblood of the plant. A cool story I always use is that if a leaf breaks off of a plant, what happens is that plant grows a new leaf. They have that innate ability because plants were made by God. So they can do the same thing for us. They work at a cellular level, and they're like the immune system of the plant, so they can help our immune system and help with a lot of different health conditions. They carry nutrients and oxygen to the different organs, and that's exactly why they can be so effective against health problems. They can effectively combat the damaging effects of toxins, the impurities, and the harmful substances in and around our bodies. It's no secret that toxins are everywhere. They're in even just the air around us from all of the chemicals that we have in the air. They're in the foods we eat, in what we breathe, they're in our homes. So, whether you like it or not, you're surrounded by harmful chemicals. Let's start today. We can help you detox your home, your families. Young Living has so many different products. They've got personal care products, they've got household cleaners, they have the oils, which are all more safe than what you're using. I still was taking a little bit to go to all of the Young Living products because I didn't want to waste what I had at home. And I was in the shower the other day looking at my face wash, and it has the propylene glycol in it, which is the same stuff that's in antifreeze, and that's what we put on our faces. So I threw that away and I got myself some Young Living face wash, but that's just one example. Read the labels of what you have. All of these things that you can switch to, they can help eliminate those toxins that are building up in your body, and the toxins cause things like the inflammation, and the inflammation are causing pain, and the inflammation are causing all of the sicknesses that we have going on. So,
inflammation causes stress
yes.
on the body, which causes a lot of health conditions. One thing to know about true pure essential oils is that they never expire. 100% pure essential oils will never expire, and just kind of an interesting fact is that when they opened King Tut's tomb, that there were all of these essential oils in there that were pure oils that were not expired. So they do not go rancid. You will not find an expiration date anywhere on Young Living's bottles.
And then that's another good point too, is that when we're talking about any oils today, we are talking strictly about Young Living oils. We don't know anything about any other company's oils, the way that they're distilled, if they're pure or not pure. A lot of companies will say that they're really 100% pure therapeutic grade oils. Any company can say that. If you have, I think it's like 3 drops of oil in a bottle of essential oil, you can call it 100% pure therapeutic grade oil. It doesn't really mean anything. We know that our company's oils are pure because we can go into their lab, we can go into their warehouse, we can go to their farms, we can help out and things like that. So we know that they really are pure. But just make sure when we're sharing this with other people that they know that we're talking about Young Living oils. So
no others. Okay, so stick with us. We're getting through this and we are truly almost done. Okay, so pure essential oils, they do not expire, but they have a unique ability to penetrate the cell membrane and diffuse throughout the blood and tissues. Essential oils are made up of very tiny molecules that have the ability in its chemical structure to penetrate the cell membrane and transport oxygen and nutrients inside the cell, thus giving more support to the immune system, which so many of us, with all of our toxins, with everything that we do, it just suppresses our immune system, and we are all getting all these different types of illnesses. The oils are absorbed in the skin in 3 seconds. And after 22 minutes, they can be picked up in your saliva. So they are going systemic. In 22 minutes, they are systemic into every cell in your body. These tiny molecules are small enough to cross the blood-brain barrier. And 1 drop of these oils contains 40 million trillion molecules that affect the body at a cellular level. And drugs that we buy, our prescription drugs, they are not able to cross the blood-brain barrier. And so they actually, rather than fixing a problem, a lot of times drugs block the pain receptors in the brain rather than correct your problems. So essential oils can stimulate the body cells to return to normal and can correct the problem rather than just block receptors in your brain. And they can also clean the receptor sites of the cells, and that way the cells can communicate with each other, and they will often be able to reprogram misprogrammed information in your DNA by working at the cellular level. So, we're through it.
Well, one thing I just want to say though is that about the blood-brain barrier, when you think about anti-anxiety and anti-depression medications, they cannot pass the blood-brain barrier because the medications aren't made to do that. But essential oils have such a low molecular weight that they can go right to your brain. So when you smell something like orange oil, my favorite oil, smell it,
And Izzy's.
how does that make you feel? I'm going to need a little bit better of a reaction there.
Okay, I'm thinking Florida. I'm thinking beach, chowing on oranges.
That's right. It makes you happy. You can't smell orange. That's right. You can't smell orange oil and not smile. So this is how it's different than antidepressant medications, which a side effect is greater risk for suicide. I never get that. But orange oil doesn't put you at greater risk for suicide. It may make you want to eat more oranges, but you will not want to kill yourself after smelling orange oil. I promise you will not.
You might have a few more wrinkles from smiling though.
Yes.
So there's an oil for that too.
Yes, there is an oil for that.
And this is an oil that I find my children huffing many times in the closet.
I huff orange oil as well. I do.
So thanks for sticking with us through this. long but very important part of our video.
Okay, next